kind of video here because I was putting this cabinet together and found that there was no instructions online to help me. It didn't come. This is all the instructions it came with here that you're looking at. So I thought I'd try to help other people out. Um, it was after the fact, though, once I needed help. And so what I'm showing you here is just snapshots that I took along the way, hoping I can help you just a little bit. So we have this version here with all drawers on one side and a cabinet on the other. So the first thing I realized I needed to do, which you see this bag is empty, so I had already started the process, and I realized I needed to go back and put some type of identification on these. I even marked some of these out, and then I had to go and mark the right thing. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. So you'll see here that I had it marked one thing and then MM, but there's three different things in here. So it's OO and LL. And these are going to be used at different points, and some of them together at the same time and some not. So it's not like they're grouped together on for a special purpose, and then in some cases a few of them are. So then we have these that are JJ, and then you have these that I marked FF and GG. I had them wrong at first, so thought I'd try to help out others here. Hopefully whatever I've done is going to help you. This over here we did not use at all because we're putting our table in the middle of the floor, and it's not going to be against the wall. And that's what that was for. This is just another closer look at the one that I had mismarked at first. MMLL and KK is what it turned out to be. Let's see. Now this little doodad is what got us in trouble. So I'm a novice at this, haven't done this a lot before. And so this is a screw that this will screw in to the hole first, and then the cabinet will just go on top of this piece here. It'll push down on there, and then there is it'll go into the hole, and there's another little piece that you'll put into the socket that you'll turn with a screwdriver, and it's going to latch onto this end here and keep it connected. So I was doing it wrong at first. I was putting this end in first, and then we were kind of hammering down on this end. I know that doesn't make sense, but we were trying to make it make sense. So this is kind of a view of the drawer side, just to let you know how it's going to look. Here is once we took this and screwed it into the preset hole, it will kind of mess up the wood that's on there. It's just kind of a layer, it's not real wood. It's particle board or something, but it will kind of mess it up, but that's okay. When you push down your peg, put your peg in, and then this is just a closer look to show you how flush it needs to be. It needs to get down in there to where all of the screw part is in. Then you're going to put this in the hole on the opposite side of the board. You're going to push this against that peg, this board here, and then once you put this in, you're going to turn it with a screwdriver, and it's going to latch on to that end that you were screwing into this board. So again, this is the way it's going to look, and you're going to slide your board onto here, and I'm going to go back. Once you slide your board on, you're going to put this piece in and turn the screw. Okay. And this is a look at the complete part as after you slide the board into the grooves. This top board doesn't screw in at all, it just slides into the grooves of the other two parts. Now, I have this picture here because the first thing we did was put the tracks on for the drawers to each side, and then we put them, did the example that I've already shown you to put these boards together, and this back piece just slides into the grooves. The problem that we had here, again, we didn't have instructions when we first started, or at all, but these are upside down. So let me go back, see if I can make that closer up. So if your little wheel here is at the top and the opening where the drawer goes in is at the bottom, that's upside down. So we had to take all of these off and then put them on correctly. So the correct way is for your wheel to be at the bottom, so when the drawer goes in, it slides in over the wheel like that. Okay, so this will be your completed piece here all together. These are the little pieces that will go into the back to hold it a little tighter. And what I had to do was put it against the back, and I, like this, set it up and hammer it in just a little bit first, and then I started screwing it in, because if you try to screw it in, it just takes forever, because it first has to go through this hard plastic before it gets to the wood. So I just screwed it in, hammered it in a little bit, and then I started screwing it in. So I didn't have an actual hammer, so I just hit it with this tool that I had here. Again, I'm a novice at this. So then I had to hold it up some with my thumb as I began to screw it in so that it wouldn't go crooked, because they wanted to go crooked at first. And so just holding it up a little bit as I screwed it in helped a lot. Now we're on to the drawers here. And the drawers, here's the handle down here, so that the little bit of instructions that were on that piece of paper have you to put in your handles first, and these parts here that are going to stick right into the side of the cabinet, and then you're going to put in that little side screw again and turn it with a screwdriver, and it's going to latch right on there. So see these grooves coming down here? That's where your backboard is going to fit into there. On the other one, I think on both of them, that's where your backboard will fit in. Okay, and so here I left this empty so that you could see it, because the first steps that I took pictures of were pretty much already done. I kind of took a few parts loose so that I could take pictures to show. But here is where that screw is going to go into here. It's going to screw into the other board, and then the head of the screw is going to fit down in here. You're going to put the round piece in there, turn the screwdriver, and it's going to lock onto that head of the screw. Okay, here's a side view, and this is the railing put on, and it's screwed on top here, and the railing is put on for the drawer. Just to give you another angle at that. And so now you see where this, we screwed the screw into board F. Now we're setting the screw down into the hole. There's another preset hole here that the peg is going to go into, and then the screw, the head of the screw should show up down here. Now see, you can kind of see the head of the screw there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. And so you can see here the head of the screw. Then we're going to take this piece and stick it in there, and the opening should be where it allows it to fit in around the screw. Okay, and then you just turn it about halfway, 3/4 of the way, and it's going to latch onto there and lock. Okay, and that's the way it'll look. And you do them all pretty much the same way. And I had to lay this over a table and put the edge, because they have you put these on first and then there's another step. I laid it over the edge so that this part would hang down and I could work on the next part. So here we're putting on the hinges, and there are some preset holes that help you to put these on correctly, but it worked best to put the door on if you open this all the way up after you put the hinge on. So I opened it all the way up like this. And I had a mistake here that I'm going to show you. So here's the mistake that I made. I put together the top back there and these two sides. And I did not slide this in before I put together all the other four sides. So this opening here was not, it was already closed in. That's why the pegs are there. But if you do it, you don't want to, I'm not sure how you're going to make it stand up. You might need two people, which is why I had assembled it the other way. But I took this board out on the end so that I could slide this top board in. And then I just kind of leaned it against the wall and gapped it open to be able to put this bottom board back in here. And here's the instructions a little bit that you can see down here. I'll see if I can zoom that in. So see, they have all the parts together, 3 parts, and then you slide the top in. But once you put this bottom part on here, if you do it in the right order, it will fit correctly, because this one with the pegs will go on, the piece with the pegs will go on first. And then the top that's back there that's on, it will just slide on top after you slide this in. So I did that a little backwards. Just wanted to help you out there. Here's your finished product. Again, put the right end on. And see this one here that has these turns with the pegs, you'll put that on. So you'll have this side and this side, and you'll put this piece on. You'll slide this board in, and the other piece just on this end up here, it will just fit on top and lock down for you. So now back to the hinges. You open those up and put those on to your door. You'll want to prop it up somehow. And what I did to kind of prop it was I put, and if you notice, this is upside down. I did it upside down because it tells you to put the wheels on. And so if you put the wheels on, it's not going to be that easy to put the door on afterwards. So I did it upside down. You use the HH screws for this. And I propped it with a marker. I put a marker between there so that when I would open it, I could press against it as I put the screws in, and it would hold it in place. So then I just screwed those in with the HH screws. Now the magnet is, well, for me, it was stuck to the latch. So I screwed the latch in, then pulled the magnet off. The magnet has to go on in these preset holes on the door. And again, we're using the HH screws. So when I first put it on, I'm going to zoom in here. There was some hang over here. So the instructions doesn't tell you which way to put it on or whatever. But when I got that little hangover, I knew, that's not right. It's not going to close properly. So I turned it around. I took it off and I turned it around, and there was no hangover once I turned it around. Now we use the JJ screws for this next part here. And we put the handle on. The JJ screws in the handle. Now it's turned up right. And you're going to slide your, again, remember that wheel has to go at the bottom so that the drawer slides in over the top of the wheel. And that's where the drawer is going to go in. And now we have a finished product. Now we have two of these cabinets because the top simply, there is no assembly for the top. The top simply sets right down on top of this cabinet and the other cabinet. So this is the other cabinet. And so you just set these next to each other and set the top right down on it. And that's your table. I'm going to go back. Let's see if I can here. We're going to go back through all of these pictures really quickly just to get to the first one. So I can remind you right here. This is the one that we put together. And this top comes as one big board, has grooves under the bottom, and this cabinet is going to fit right into those grooves. This cabinet will fit into those grooves. And it doesn't matter which one you put on with either side, but that's how it will all fit together. And that's it. Hope this was helpful.